We are unmoving like the mountain. We will not be drowned by the raging river. Behold the wonders of the Celestial Dragon Empire!
So after much teasing, we've finally got the Enter the World of Cathay trailer. It features a look at a brand new Cathay siege map, a couple of units on both sides of the battle, and a lot more footage of our legendary lords in combat. First things first, our opening shot gives us a glimpse at a Cathay siege map. Now the bad news here is it appears to have its back to the wall and doesn't look like it has much space outside of it. Now the good news is, it looks to have a few tiers, including some much higher ones to the back. And we also see in the second shot that the map outside of the walls goes on a lot further than it seems, with room for this huge army outside that looks to be at least 2 full stacks of units on the attacking side. This is the start of what we're looking for, and I'm praying that this is just one map on the Great Bastion, and that's why it has its back to a wall, and we aren't all in for the same crushing disappointment from Warhammer 1 and Warhammer 2. Come on CA, don't let us down. We see these heavily armoured halberd infantry adopting a phalanx stance, preparing for the oncoming enemies. I hope this means we'll see some unit formations in game, since they are so much fun and add some extra strategy when leaving units standing waiting for the enemies. We also get a look at this guy on a horse. From the look of him, I doubt he's a spellcaster or an alchemist, since he looks like none of the others that we see later on. This makes me think he's a generic, non-magical either lord or hero, such as a noble type character. We then see a huge volley of pink projectiles being tossed by the pink horrors at the Cathay forces, only to be blocked by a cast from a mage and sent back to where they came from. This is our first look at some of the magic from the Cathay roster, and if the first spell we're seeing is the ability to literally block projectiles and send them back at their shooters, we're in for quite a treat. Our noble from earlier then gives an order to crossbowmen, and they loose a huge volley at the demonic forces. We see Siege Forsaken and Chaos Spawn taking hits, and further back we see blue and pink horrors. In the background, we also can see what looks to be a Bale Fiend holding a staff, which I would guess are a spellcasting either hero or lord for the siege side, much like they were available to Norska. We see Zhao Ming assisting warriors in combat before transforming back to his human form. This is all but confirming that lords can jump between the forms at will when in combat, or it might just be an ability that lasts for a certain amount of time. When transforming, he also appears to have this cool liquid fire magic, which I would hope has some effect on nearby enemy units when in combat. We get a bunch more glamour shots of the Cathay roster, including the Terracotta Sentinels, Sword and Shield Infantry, Dragon Horse Riders, Alchemists, and that weird cage orb that we still don't really know what it is. Also, if you zoom in, you can see some guy fighting off Chaos with fire imbued attacks. I've got no clue who or what this is, but if we get some martial arts fighters with elemental attacks, that would be pretty poggers. We also get an appearance from your girl Miao Ying and her forces. She's got spear and shield infantry, as well as these wannabe Warplug Giselles, which we, unfortunately, don't get to see impact the enemy. We also get confirmation that these characters that create ribbons in combat are alchemists, so I'm very interested to know how they work and whether it's just a set of spells, or if there's an alchemy mechanic producing potions for them. There's also a first look at what I would guess is the lore of Ying given the white colour, making this Forsaken go for a spin, which looks hilarious, and I'm quite interested to know what it and the rest of this lore does. Finally, our final shot shows us this awesome transformation of both dragons and a final barrage from all the Cathay units into a nearly infinite horde of chaos. This includes the explosive cannons we saw earlier that look to fire off similar to Hellstorm rocket batteries. Of course, it wouldn't be a trailer without a little bit of dialogue, so we have nothing endures without harmony, and the harmony only endures through us. This is of course referring to the harmony that flows through the Cathayan people, both in their society and in their military. We are moving like the mountain. Of course, the Great Bastion is built into the mountain. We will not be drowned by the raging river, which is obviously a metaphor for the hordes of chaos. Behold the wonders of the Celestial Dragon Emperor, the might of our warriors, the secrets of our alchemists, the sorcery of the dragon-blooded. Of course, they're basically just talking up their warriors, their alchemists, and their unique magicians. Vanquish chaos with the sheer power of the dragon, let them face the majesty of Grand Cathay. Basically an open challenge to chaos, asking them to come and attempt to take Cathay, because they will definitely not go down without a fight. There we go, that about wraps up everything that I could see in this Enter the World of Cathay trailer. If there's anything that you spot that I didn't mention in this video, then be sure to list it down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to leave it a like, and if you want to see more content like this breaking down all the news in the build up to Warhammer 3, then be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you want to support the channel, be sure to check out the merch store linked below. There's all sorts of cool designs based on your favourite characters, so you'll be sure to find something that you like. Also, I'd like to thank all supporters of the channel, here on YouTube as well as on Patreon and on Twitch. And one more thank you to everyone for watching, and for now, I've been COLONELDAMNEDERS, and I will see you next turn.